What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Project Ozone 2 Kappa Mode. Oh yeah, guys, so we were talking about before how getting zombie skulls are kind of a problem. We have to do this manually. I guess that's kind of a benefit of getting these zombies that spawn nearby our killing chamber. It seems like they only spawn at nighttime though, so you gotta wait around a little bit. I think it has to do with light level, but anyway, we can use our cobalt cleaver here to kill the zombie and get the mob skull 100% of the time, since I think that does have 100% beheading on there. Yeah, we used this a while ago for collecting, was it wither skeleton skulls? I think that might have been what it was. But anyway, the cleaver does come in handy for doing that. I've done this a few times now. So we have, I think, 5 skulls in the system right now, or in a storage drawer, so that'll add another one. Yeah, I've had to use one of these skulls already because I did add another harvester to our last millennium area where we're harvesting crops or whatever. What do we got? Oh, is it called head? Just search for zombie. Yeah, we got 5 in there now. That adds a 6th one. Cool, so we got those going on. So you can see in my inventory here, I got a lot of stuff in here. I've made a bunch of stuff in preparation for what we're going to be doing today. I would like to look at doing the mechanism 5XOR processing so we can look at getting osmium crystals. Osmium crystals are like the next thing that we need in order to get applied energistics, the next hardest thing that we need to get, I should say. So we want to make like an ME controller, right? So the ME controller requires us to have osmium crystals, and we can get those through a chemical crystallizer with some kind of a slurry, right? And you get that through a chemical washer. So you need water plus the osmium slurry. You get the osmium slurry through a chemical dissolution chamber with sulfuric acid. So you put the ore in with sulfuric acid and you get the osmium slurry. That seems pretty straightforward at this point. To get the sulfuric acid, we have to put sulfur trioxide plus water vapor through a chemical infuser. To get the water vapor, we need water in a rotary concentrator, turning liquid water into water vapor. And then we need sulfur trioxide, which comes from a chemical infuser with oxygen plus sulfur dioxide. Oxygen is from a, well, I guess you can do it this way. Electrolytic separator is the way we're going to be doing it. So we need to put water into electrolytic separator, get hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen, I think we're just going to throw away or store it somewhere, but we're not using it. We just need the oxygen portion of that. And then the sulfur dioxide comes from a chemical oxidizer with sulfur in it. Okay, so that's pretty much what we need to do. There's a lot of machines that we need to craft. I know you're not going to remember all of those things. We're going to start from the top, put sulfur into the machine, and work our way the other way. So let's grab some sulfur. We've been getting this from our mob drops. Yeah, all the monsters seem to be dropping sulfur. So this is a huge help. Otherwise, we'd have to create this stuff using gunpowder. And I think there's ways you can create gunpowder. And anyway, we don't have to do that. We'll start right at the point where we have sulfur and we're going to turn it into sulfur dioxide. So the first thing that we need to make is a chemical oxidizer. So let's go down here. The chemical oxidizer, this machine requires 4 enriched alloys, 2 basic control circuits, a basic gas tank. I guess we can start making some of these other things that we don't have right now. A dynamic tank, which is steel wrapped around a bucket that gives us 4 of those. We only need 1, but I'll take 4 in my inventory. And then we also need a personal chest, which I don't think I've ever used one of those, but we've used it in these crafts before, so there's all that. So we should have everything, I think, for a chemical oxidizer. If we click that, it does not want to shift click in. All right, so we can just put these in there manually. So let's see, we needed the personal chest, some of these things, and the tank. I think it's because of the basic gas tank, it won't shift click in there. Okay, so chemical oxidizer, pretty easy. I was trying to figure out where we're going to put these things. It's kind of like one of those things you want to sit down, but then we're not going to be using it too often, I don't think. So I think we're going to sit down in a temporary spot. Now we already have power over here because of the assembly table, so I guess we could kind of stick it over here. I think that'll be fine. We're going to stick it over here with the intention of moving it later, I think is how we're going to do this. So chemical oxidizer. So you can see mechanism machines have like a larger side and a smaller side. And I don't remember, one side is items in, the other side is liquid in or liquid out. I think the larger side is liquid in or liquid out. I don't remember. I guess one way we could find out, I think, is if we try and put a fluid conduit or I guess an item, maybe an item conduit will only connect to the correct side. Let's see if that's the case. Yeah, the mechanism, I've used these before, but I can never remember how they work. Looks like it connects to that side and that side. Okay, so that's not a valid way to test if that's the way that works. I thought it would be. I was wrong. Maybe we could do it with the mechanism has its own pipes, and maybe those work a little bit better. So let's take a look at the basics. So we have the logistical transporter, which is items and blocks. And then we have the mechanical pipe, which is fluid. So maybe those will connect if they work. Let's try the logistical transporter here. That connects, and here connects. Okay, so that is not the right way to test this. Well, I'm gonna have to figure out which side is which. I think this is items. I think this is fluid. We will find out. But anyway, what we need to do is put in our sulfur dust here, give it some power. It's going to turn this into the sulfur dioxide. Let's break a little spot there and we'll run our power. I guess I should have grabbed some conduit to run over there. Let's do that. Oh, let's do that now. I'll just kind of fly around over here real quick and grab some conduit. So we need the energy conduit. I think I'm gonna have to make more of those. I'm pretty sure with all these machines that we're gonna be setting up here. All right, so let's just run this over here like so. All right, so now that machine is doing its thing. All right, so 1 sulfur equals a tenth of a bucket, it looks like. All right, so we got that under control. So now, let's kind of move away from it, it's a little loud. So now we need to take that sulfur dioxide, put it into a chemical infuser with oxygen. So we need electrolytic separator and then a chemical infuser. So these are more machines that we need to do. Okay, so chemical infuser and then electrolytic separator. So the chemical infuser is made with 2 of these tanks. They don't stack. Okay, that is fine. And then we need all of this other stuff, including the dynamic tank. So I guess it's cool that we made 4 of those earlier. I wasn't sure if we were going to be needing those later on or not, but I guess so. All right, so there is that guy. Tank and a tank. Okay, so there is a chemical infuser, and then we need the electrolytic separator, which is made with the electrolytic core. So we need pulverized gold and iron, and then osmium dust. I think we have the osmium. Let's take a look at the iron and gold. I don't think we have any pulverized, but that's like super easy to do. Pulverize that and gold. We already have gold. That makes it a little bit even more easy. So this we need to unset so it doesn't eject the pulverized iron. All right, so there's that. Now we should be able to shift click this. Okay, so there's our electrolytic core. And that is another easy one. Okay, so electrolytic separator. Cool. All right, so now, like I said, we need to take the sulfur dioxide and put that into the chemical infuser. I don't know if they push the fluid over. Let's try this. Does this have a, oh, this does not have an interface, so I can't do that. Oh, but it is, okay, it's already got the sulfur dioxide just by putting them next to it. Easy. Okay. So now we got that. That's also going to need power, but we'll worry about that in a minute. And then we need the electrolytic separator with oxygen. Now this is the part that I'm not 100% sure on, because oxygen, I don't remember if it's on this side or this side. I think it's always on this side, so we might have to flip this machine around backwards. I think we might have to do that. We want the hydrogen to dump excess, and then the oxygen we're going to hopefully push out into this machine. This also requires, let's see, this also requires water, and I see there's a spot here and a spot here, so I don't know which one takes the water. I'm gonna try and put the water source here. What does that do? That fills it up. Okay, it looks like that works right. right, so we might be able to do something here. Let's put the power like so, and hopefully everything just works. All right, so how are we doing here? Hydrogen is on this side, oxygen is on this side, and yeah, we're making sulfur trioxide, so the oxygen must be going in here. Okay, so there is that portion of this done. Yeah, this is a little complicated. The mechanism machines don't always do what you think they should be doing or the way you think they should, or there's little quirks about them, I guess. I think another thing that we're gonna want is a sound muffler, because the noise that's being produced over there seems like it's getting a little excessive, and the more machines we make, the more noise it's going to make. I don't remember the sound mufflers work, or if we have to do the sound muffler upgrades for these machines. It sounds like we have to do the muffler upgrade. Okay, well, I guess that's something else we'll have to figure out here in a minute. For now, what I'm gonna do is I'll turn the volume down. All right. So we have sulfur trioxide being generated right here. So now we need to take that sulfur trioxide that has to go into another chemical infuser with water vapor. So we need another chemical infuser, and then we need a rotary concentrator. Okay, so those I don't believe are difficult to make. So let's do chemical infuser and then rotary concentrator. Chemical infuser, yeah, we just made this a moment ago. It's not so bad, but we do have to craft it by hand. So there's that, one of those, two of these, four of these, and then the tanks in there. One tank and two tank. Okay, so there's this guy, and then we need the rotary concentrator, which is a basic fluid tank. Not bad. Another one of these basic tanks. Come on. Are we out of redstone? All right, we just need one of those. Basic tank. Then we need 4 glass and then an energy tablet and then 2 of these. Okay, so the energy tablet's a little expensive. We've seen those before. I think it's that and this. And then what was the other part? Just glass. Do we have glass? We do. All right, so there's a rotary concentrator. So this thing, I'm not sure how these work. Let me take a look at this machine again. All right, so we need an input on one side, an input on the other side, and then that's going to be the output. So that's going to output sulfuric acid, and that needs to go into our next machine, the chemical dissolution chamber. All right, I'm trying to figure out if we place it this way, we're gonna have to have the rotary concentrator here, or if we place it this way, I guess either way, the rotary concentrator has to be over here. I guess we'll place it this way, and we'll have the sulfuric acid going out this direction. Wait, that's a rotary concentrator. Wrong machine. Let's do this one. Okay, so now we're filling up with sulfur trioxide. I'm not going to put any more sulfur in there right now, just to make the machines quieter at this point in time. All right, so now we need this machine, which takes water, and we need to push this button so it deconcentrating it. Okay, so now we need another bit of water over here, right? Or is it the other side? Maybe it's the other side. Maybe I have to flip this machine around. All right, let me try doing it this way. And like this. Oh, you know what? I think this might be one of those machines that it did not like the infinite water pushing the water into it. And I had to do something funny with that. So I can't remember when I did this before, if I had to do maybe a conduit? Fluid conduit? I seem to recall that I was doing it with a... like I was pushing the fluid into a build craft tank and extracting out of that. I don't know if this works. Let's try this. So we'll do extract, always active, and then insert. Is that doing anything? Oh, that fills up with water. Perfect. All right, so now we just need to give this thing some power. All right, so this. Get that power and this power. So that's making water vapor. That is empty, and this is making sulfuric acid. Okay, so now that we have the sulfuric acid, we need to do something with that. All right, so let me let this run for a minute, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, well, I've been letting these things run and trying to fill up all the stuff. So our chemical oxidizer has filled up full of sulfur dioxide. Now, this machine is pretty expensive. It uses 7.5 thousand RF per tick. Yeah, so does this machine over here, the Rotary Concentrator. This also requires 7.5 thousand RF per tick. Now, there are energy upgrades we could stick in here to lower that cost. I haven't done that yet because it takes a lot to do those. We'll be working on that at some point in the future. But anyway, I wanted to let all these things run and fill up just so we had a nice stockpile of like all this stuff. By the way, I did put in a basic gas tank here. So instead of the hydrogen filling up on this side and then dumping excess, all the hydrogen goes down here. And then when this fills up, it'll start going into here and then dumping excess. Yeah, so we're kind of keeping some of this for later. We'll probably be using this. I'm pretty sure we need some hydrogen later on for other things. So anyway, our sulfuric acid is full. Our sulfur trioxide is full in that tank and over here, and our sulfur dioxide is full here and here. Yep, oxygen full in both of those. This is not full just because it takes a lot of power. So since we were using so much power, I decided to double the amount of power that we're making over here. So instead of having just 2 high temperature furnaces, we now have 4 of them. Yeah, I kind of rearranged some things. So the power comes from below these furnaces. It just runs underneath and into this vibrant capacitor bank. And then from here, we're going up and feeding the main power supply like we were doing before. Previously, I kind of had this thing set up wrong. I like having the power going in one side and then extract the power from the other side. That way you get an accurate reading of how much power you are making versus how much you're using. Yeah, so before the capacitor bank was right here, and all these were dumping into it, but then I had a line off this power connection going straight up into the main power supply. Yeah, that kind of ruins what I was trying to do with that. But anyway, we got that all sorted now, so everything should be working just fine. These things are still using a decent amount of power, and I think most of our resources from all of these crushers and stuff should be about full. I guess the hammers and sifters and stuff. Yeah, there's a good portion of these things full, so we might start looking at turning these off to save some power if we need it. But anyway, yeah, we're making a decent amount. What is that, like over 10,000 RF per tick now with 4 of these things going? Yeah. You can see that we are only gaining 7,000 because we are using a decent amount still. And 7,000 that we're gaining right now, as soon as one of these machines over here turns on, we're not gaining it anymore, right? So yeah, power is kind of becoming an issue at this moment. But anyway, things are charging back up and we should be ready to go. So the next machine we need to put down is this chemical dissolution chamber. I went ahead and I made the chemical washer and the chemical crystallizer, the following 2 machines, or I guess 3 machines, including this one that we needed. Just getting the crafting out of the way for those. So the chemical dissolution chamber, I see that there are 2 spots on here. We got a small side and then a larger side. For those of you who don't know, this sulfuric acid right here, even though it doesn't say it's like a gas, it is a gas. This is a gas. This is a gas. All of these are gases. If you search for sulfuric acid, you can see that there's sulfuric acid, and then there is, well, you can't see right there, but that says liquid sulfuric acid. So the liquid is stuff that you can put into a drum. Well, this shows it in a drum too, so maybe you can store gases in a drum. I don't know. The whole mechanism fluid thing is a little weird. But anyway, so since this is a gas, I assume the small side needs to go to the small side, which means we need to place this this direction, I think that's how we do it. Let's try placing it down, see what happens here. And nothing. Do we have to tell this to eject the fluid? There is no configuration upgrades on here. And this is not gaining anything. Let's try swapping around the other way. Maybe it automatically pushes it into it. Oh, okay. So small side goes into the large side apparently. I guess that's how that works. Anyway, chemical dissolution chamber. So this is where we can start putting our stuff in, and then we can get the slurry. So we were looking at, what was it, the We need osmium, I think is what the end result, osmium crystal. So we need to get ourselves osmium ore in there, and that'll turn into the osmium slurry. So let's grab some osmium ore. We happen to have a full stack right here. Nice. All right, so we'll put the full stack into here. And nothing happens because this doesn't have power. So let's give it power. I still have the energy conduits on me. I do. We'll connect that up. This is using 4,000 RF per tech. Not quite as bad, but still uses a lot. So 1 ore equals one bucket worth of osmium slurry. All right. So we'll just go ahead and do 10 of those, I suppose, is what we're going to end up doing. Put that block back. Okay, so that needs to go into, I'm looking at some notes over here. The ore slurry needs to go into a chemical washer. All right, so we need the chemical washer. Let's take a look at this machine. So this has an input and an output. I don't know which side in, which side out. I know water goes to the top. Oops, this pick is a little crazy. If I stick this here, oh yeah, that fills up with the osmium slurry. Great, and then we can put a infinite water on top, I think. No, I think we have to pipe it in. I don't have those conduits on me anymore. All right, so we could probably do this with just one infinite water and just kind of pipe it all around. I just feel it's easier to use multiple. So we will grab another one of these. I guess interfluid conduit is what I used on the other side, or I guess on the other machine over here. All right, so we'll put you here and this up here. Now we're starting to get further and further away from the torches. I want to make sure we are not going to get creeper at F7. I think we're fine. Okay, so we want to extract out of this, always active, and insert. And now we got water and osmium slurry. Again, we need to give this a little bit of power. So now things are happening, and now we're making clean osmium slurry. Cool. Okay, so now that we got that done, the final step is we need to get ourselves a chemical crystallizer. All right, so let's do this. What does this look like? Well, I guess small end to small end or small end to large end. I don't know. It seems to like not really be consistent, right? So if we stick that here, we're getting the clean osmium slurry. It says it's osmium ore. So when we get this power, it should take this stuff and start crystallizing it. Now we should get 5 crystals per ore at this point. And that is how you get the 5x ore processing going. This requires 4,000 RF per tick, so we're using a lot of power right now to get all this stuff going. And there is our first osmium crystal. So we need 2 of those for 1 ME controller. And that's like all the really difficult parts done. There's still other things we need. We need concentrated cloud seed. Yeah, so we need to get some... we need to make 2 of the vats. One that's going to make cloud seed, and the other one makes a concentrated cloud seed. So the cloud seed is water plus salt. But I guess there's different inputs and outputs. You can put clay block in there, you get 2x. And then there's other stuff over here. Ice gives you 1x on this side. I think those are both cumulative. Cumulative? How do you say that word? I don't know. Anyway, you want the highest on both of them to get the most output, right? So to the vats. What does the vat cost? It costs 2 fluid tanks, easy. Electrical steel, easy. Crucible, easy. Machine chassis, easy. And then the gold furnace, easy, easy, easy. All right, let me make 2 of those and we'll be back. All right, guys, well, given everything time to settle down, all of these machines are kind of done doing what they're doing. So we have a stack of osmium crystal here. This is full of the clean slurry. This is full of the osmium slurry. And these are all full of everything. Yeah, so all these machines are done doing what they can do. So now we're getting our power back once again. This machine right here is so weird, this chemical washer, because I had this set to insert, right? So it was going to push the fluid in and it wouldn't accept it. Only when I switch this over to in out would it start accepting the water in here. I thought that was kind of weird, just something I'd point out. But anyway, so we made 2 the vats. Okay, so we have a infinite water here, which is pushing water into this one. So this is full. And then behind we have water being pushed into the bottom of this oak barrel. So you put dust into an oak barrel and it makes clay, right? And the clay is being extract it out of the bottom of the barrel and into here and into this one. We need clay in both of these, the vats, for the 2X. This one only needs clay. This one needs clay and either snowball, snow, ice, or packed ice, I think are the options we can do. Packed ice is the best, and that's what I like to use. But in order to make that, we need snow, and we don't have any snow. So we have to make ourselves some snow. So to make snow in this pack, you can use a pure daisy, and I thought we would do this together. So we'll surround the pure daisy with blocks, and then if we put water right here, that'll turn into snow. We only need to do this in a couple of spots, I do believe. Let's grab some water from here, like so, and we'll grab some water from here, like so. Now, I don't really know how long this takes. It might be a minute. It might be 30 seconds. When you do stone into living rock and then you do wood into living wood, it takes a minute. So it might take a minute. We could put down the overgrowth seed or whatever, and I think that halves the speed. So what we're going to do is make two things of snow. We're going to make a snowman over here. So we'll put two of the blocks of snow down, right? We have this surrounded with quite clear glass, and above it we have a stone slab. The reason for the slab is it does rain, and rain kills the snowman. You don't want that happening. So that'll keep it alive. This will keep it contained, and then we can use some kind of a shovel or whatever to get the snow from its feet. All right, so we just got to wait for this to finish up and it should just be any second now, I would imagine. Then we should be able to get 4 snowballs per snow block when we harvest it. Another thing we need to do is grab a pumpkin. There we go. So this one's done. All right, so there's 4 snowballs, and there's 4 snowballs. Now, I don't know if we can mine the snow from underneath the snowman with this mattock. We might need to get ourselves a shovel. Guess we'll figure that out. So snow, and then a pumpkin. Cool. So can I mine this? I can, but that's very, very slow. Okay, I wasn't sure if that was going to be a decent speed or not. We might just make ourselves a dark steel shovel. Is that a thing? I don't know. Let me just make one of these real quick, and then sticks. Just attempt to make one of those. No. Okay, so we need some kind of a shovel. So different shovels. We have the diamond one with 1 durability. That's not something we want. Golden shovels, like all the vanilla ones, we don't have any durability on. So I might need to make myself just some kind of a junky throwaway one. Jade shovel from the Urbis. Okay, well, I don't know how good this is. We have plenty of jade, so that doesn't matter. Let's try using one of these. Oh, much better. Okay. So yeah, this will run out of durability eventually, but we don't need that much really. But what we need to do is turn the snow balls into snow blocks, and then it looked like we can take the snow blocks and throw those into our mana pool over here. Let's grab what we got. Guess I could turn on my magnet, but I'll just pick these up like that. All right, so let's do this. So we got snow blocks. It looks like we could put those with the alchemy catalyst down below, and that'll turn into ice. All right, and then 4 ice turns into packed ice. So there's 4 packed ice for all of that work. Is it worth it? I don't know. But that'll get us the highest amount of this stuff that we can make. Now, the reason why you want to do that is this says that it uses 35,000 RF per tick. So the more we can get out of there for the least amount of power, I think is probably going to be our best option. So yeah, power just goes away. It's gone. So yeah, we made the cloud seed that's coming over here, mixing with clay, and we're making the concentrated cloud seed, and we're putting that over here. So now we got 4 buckets worth of the stuff. I think that's pretty good, but these machines are like super, super hungry on that power situation. 35,000 RF per tick, that's a lot. Okay, well, I'm going to try and make a little bit more of that and try and get, I don't know, maybe 30 or 40 buckets of this stuff, and then we'll be back. All right, well, I spent a little bit of time here. We got 40 buckets of concentrated cloud seed. So we got a bunch of the stuff, the difficult part of making the ME controllers done. We got the cloud seed, and we got ourselves the osmium crystals. The rest of this stuff, we're going to need pure fluix crystal. That's going to take a little bit of time. We're going to need these machine frame resin. I don't believe we've made one of these yet. And I was just looking, we had just used the last of these reinforced ones making, I think, the steel casings earlier. So yeah, we don't have any of these. So I'm currently cooking up a whole bunch of these machine frame basics right now. So we have some of these to go in the future, and I will probably just make the machine frame resonant off camera. I'll just go ahead and cook up all the rest of these things just so we have some of those. Anything else crazy in here? We're gonna need the engineering processor. So that is also going to require an inscriber, pulsating chipset. Okay, so we'll have to make sure we make some of those. We're gonna need these printed things. So we need an inscriber with the silicon press. So silicon plus block of iron. That's not so bad. And then the engineering one, which is a block of diamond plus a block of iron, makes that. Again, that's not so bad. In this mod pack, it looks like you can do a block of diamond to make 9 of these at a time, which is very, very nice. I don't know if there's a way to do that with a silicon. No, it looks like you can do 2 at a time with the raw silicon or 1 at a time with the regular silicon. Okay, and then we're also gonna need sky stone. That's something else we'll look at probably next time. Guys, we are so close to applied energistics right now. I can almost taste it. It's gonna be so good once we get that up and running. So hopefully next time we will have an EE system, an applied energistic system, ME system. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on the episode if you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.